All right, well, we've already seen some big reveals at Rapid TCT, but trust me, there's still a ton more to cover. And if you thought part 1 was packed, wait until you see what's coming up next, which includes...
You are watching a master at work.
Again, as in part 1, a quick word of thanks to Team Prusa, who's enabled me for the most part to travel to Detroit to celebrate the start of 2025 in style here at Rapid. And as per usual, Polymaker and PCBWay, their affiliate links will of course be in the description down below. And if you enjoy this video, smash that like button. And if the content matches your vibe, well, hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Let's get straight on into this one.
Yeah, and then I will
Boom! What's going on, friends? Sam Prentice back once again. We are at Rapid TCT at Prusa's booth with the one and only, it's not Joe Prusa, it's Rudolph. How are you, sir? You good?
Very good. How about yourself?
You are looking swell. You're looking defined. You're looking wonderful, especially in this lovely, lovely little ensemble here. When do I get one of these jackets?
Very soon. When do you want one?
Like right now. Can we make that happen?
No,
No, don't take it off. Don't take it off. It's absolutely fine. Well, Ruda here, I've been working with you now for the best part of 12 months. We've had a good time.
Yes.
It's been brilliant. I've got some XLs, I've got some Core 1s. We've done some great business, I think, together. I've got some questions, though, for you.
Absolutely.
And one of those questions is, as things are evolving, I'm seeing Prusa's profile growing, which is really encouraging, certainly with machines like the Core 1, the XL, which I absolutely love. And I did a little experiment a few months ago where I just started using Prusa printers, and now I can't go anywhere else. I'm just using them all the time. I'm not just saying this because it's true, it's a fact. And you've seen them, they're in my house, they're in the studio, and I have got a real good new affinity, especially with Prusa Connect. And I was at one point I was just USB, plug it in, do that. Since I saw Prusa Connect, now it's kind of changed the game for me on these machines. Now I'm seeing Prusa are moving from, or perhaps not moving from, maybe they're continuing with the MK range. But I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
With Core XY now being popular, where do we stand with the MK printers? Are you still going to continue to onwardly develop those? Or is Core XY kind of like the new normal?
I think that's a very good question because when we introduced the Core 1, we had a great opportunity to discontinue MK4, but or MK4S. However, we realized that product still has a place on the market. It's a fantastic Cartesian open frame printer. And we just wanted to keep it and see how it goes. It still sells. It still sells good. So definitely customers want it. Whenever we will see successor of it, it pretty much depends on the public.
Yeah.
The Core 1, for sure, that's a platform which we want to keep for a while and we want to be developing, and it's built for that because we have that amazing exoskeleton,
Yeah.
which we can only get better of. We can get faster, we can probably get more precise. It gives us a lot of possibilities in terms of the direction where we can walk with.
It's funny with the Core 1 because I actually lent that printer. I went away, as you know. I tend to go all over the place. I'm traveling all the time. So I lent the Core 1 because I was away for like nearly 2 weeks to a friend of mine and their business. And it took them nearly 3 or 4 weeks to actually bring it back to me. So I've literally only just got it back, only to then travel once again. So, and they love that printer and they've also ordered one and it's just finally come back to me. So I think, Core 1 seems to be, again, that new normal. It just seemed to be really typical of Prusa. Like, because I was out at your place, and I was like, it really doesn't make sense that you haven't made a Core XY printer, especially as you've got all these other types of printers. And you guys were just stone cold, didn't say a word, and yet just round the corner was the Core 1. So,
It was interesting time because we introduced the MK4S in August.
Yep.
And I think how it turned out, the printer was amazingly fast, but it was fast from a different perspective, something which nobody expected because we had a CHT nozzle, we had a superior cooling, and suddenly we see the possibility that we can squeeze a little bit out of it. So the Core XY was obviously the next move. And suddenly you have Core 1, which is like 20–30% faster on the larger models.
Yep.
And that was opportunity which we just had to grab. But it's not just that, because it's a printer which you can heat up to 55 degrees. There is this 5 extra centimeters because it's a Core XY. It's a sturdy exoskeleton. It's a fantastic printer.
And it's
Absolutely.
scalable as well, isn't it? I mean, I think, you know, that's one of those things that we feel that the Core One is definitely a scalable printer, and you know, bigger might be the future. And that's always been one thing with Prusa is people always say to me, "Oh, I just wish it was a little bit bigger," which, you know.
Yeah, people say it, but I think XL is a big enough. It's 36 by 36 cube.
Yep.
And we have not seen a competition to be matching it, to be honest.
I'd agree. I mean, you know, I've been doing some tests against other machines, and actually the XL does perform, certainly with time and quality, as good or better in some cases. And we've got some videos coming up on that soon. Not to kind of gaslight the entire situation, but there is some real benefits to a tool changer over purging of filament and, you know, those kind of elements, which, you know, is massively wasteful. And I don't think people always understand completely that on a tool changer, you're using a lot less filament. And if you measure that even over 12 months, filament's really expensive. Like, it's not like $30 a go, and you'll get through that 4 or 5 spools, especially with me. I will do 3 or 4 spools in a day if I'm working on a big project. I'll just smash it out. So people don't understand that. And of course, is it you're spending the money at the front, or really are you spending the money at the back?
Yeah, and where also Excel stands is the time. You know, like this is a prosumer machine.
Yeah.
I value myself time greatly. You are from UK, you know how expensive people are, and the time is really important.
Yep.
And what Excel really shines on is a time cut or a time saving.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in regards to things like open source, the game's changing. Is Prusa changing with it, or are you still sticking to the original model?
We are trying to do our best to be as open source as possible.
Okay.
I think that's important because that's the roots where we come from. And again, if we go back to the Core One, that printer is very difficult to mod to be better.
Yep.
But on the other hand, we made it moddable. We have this hacker board, it's this magnetic frame, and we encourage people to actually make it their own,
Yep.
which is extremely unique proposition once again.
Okay. So what about the future of Prusa? Where are we heading? Or can you even tell us that? Because I would say I've seen personally a seismic shift, certainly with content creation, support from Prusa, working with Prusa, getting the machines on time, and also keeping NDAs in check and not leaking information. I think that you guys are really doing some great business, and I think it's catatonically missed from a community level. Yeah, they don't perhaps understand how much effort is actually put in that you guys do. And I see it, but it's really difficult to convey that in a video.
It is, and we are in the beginning of 2025. We are very happy at the position where we are at, because last year in January we set our target to be the best, to have a best position in 2025. We believe we have it. We have a best printer under 1,500 bucks. We still have Excel, which has not been surpassed with multi-tool heads.
Nope.
So for us, it's a time of Prusa. The 2025 is a year of Prusa, and yes, there are innovations coming, but on the other hand, we are extremely happy at the space where we are at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think it's super exciting, and I'm really pleased that you guys have got just this coming out. Was for me, I was like, they've got what now? And we obviously, it was at Formnext. We were at Formnext. I was taken into a room. You then showed me this new printer. We were able to stand on it and do all sorts of crazy, weird, and wonderful things with that. But I didn't expect it. You know, I kind of like, I was like, they can't be bringing out another printer, because Prusa don't bring out printers. You know, it's not a shotgun approach that a lot of the Chinese businesses do. It's methodical. It's well thought out, but it actually really works. So I still use the MK4. I've used the S. I use the XL, and now I've got the Core One as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think the MK4S was pretty much a warm-up, because we wanted to show the world that a lot of things which being said about MK4 were not true. Like, for example, it's a slow printer, etc. We squeezed substantial faster speeds out of it. We squeezed amazing quality out of it. And then Core One came a few months later, and it absolutely killed us.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed Pooch has now got into the background of the shot there, because he couldn't help himself there for a second. But we all know what Pooch is like. Ruda, is there anything else you want to say to the public watching this video about Prusa?
Please keep printing. Bring your friends to 3D printing, because we want more of you to join our wonderful industry.
There you go. Thank you, dude. Good to see you. Let's catch up for a beer later.
Absolutely.
Let's do that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
What's going on, friends? I'm here with Lauren from Prusa, you're the B2B account manager, but you specifically look after resin printers. Now, we met last night at a really cool Prusa event, which was very exclusive. We got talking, and we got talking about resin. Now, resin isn't really my forte.
Yeah.
I'm very much FDM. I love the XL, I love the Core 1, and various other bits and pieces here. But we met and we were talking about resin, and that seems to be your thing.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about these printers and what you do at Prusa.
Basically, with resin, I tell our customers, when people turn to resin, it's because FDM could not support some need that they had. So they come to resin for a few reasons.
Okay.
One, it offers more technical grade properties. So the properties they can't achieve with FDM, sometimes resin can achieve them.
Okay.
Two, the finished look. Like with resin, because of the technology, you cannot see the layer lines. FDM, you can always see like lines if you look closely, but if you're printing like end-use parts or models or miniatures, that's what resin is for. You
Absolutely.
can't see any of those lines.
So the thing is with resin though, personally, it's always been, and we said this last night, and you said it to me, you're like, it's smelly, it's sticky,
Yeah,
it's just toxic, it's nasty.
Yeah.
And then of course you get to a point where it's like, well, why am I doing this then? Like what is my energy to get involved with that versus
Absolutely.
plastic? And like you say, the quality is a big part of that,
Yep.
of course. But is there anything else that I'm missing? Because I haven't had a great experience with resin over quite some time of doing reviews and 3D printing and stuff.
Yeah.
What makes the Prusa range different?
Well, like I will say, Prusa takes the care and quality that they put in their FDM printers and they put it into their resin printers. So if I were to like really get into it, the accuracy matters. So this is more B2B.
Yep.
So accuracy is achieved by the quality of the printer. So if I like were to open the printer, it's completely all metal construction and it's actually quite difficult to move. The thread screw in the back over here is quite thick if you compare it to other resin printers that you see. These help to stabilize the printer so that during the print, you're actually getting less movement and this is affecting the accuracy overall in total.
Yep.
Another thing is that the resin printer, ours, has a tilting mechanism. So every layer that gets peeled from the platform, so if it's like printing like this tray and this LCD screen, they go down and they come back up and that slowly peels the part from the platform.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so
okay.
other printers, they're going straight down and it can create suction, it can create problems, it can ultimately create a failed print.
Yep.
But Prusa is slowly peeling, so you're getting less force on every little part.
Gotcha.
So all of that is affecting the accuracy of the printer. It's also helping the speed, of course, but I think it really depends on what you're going for. But yeah, a lot of times accuracy is a big one if you're paying the price point for a Prusa printer.
Absolutely. So I mean, these are B2C, as you said, so consumer grade.
Yeah.
Your thing is B2B though, so these are the bigger
Yeah.
machines. Now at Formnext, it was very exciting. I know Joseph was very, very excited as well to see some of the big machines. They're not here. I don't know why, but they're not here. But those big machines, he was like, have you seen this, Sam? And I'm like, I haven't. And Resin doesn't get me that excited, but he was very excited about that. Surely that's going to be your kind of main thing there. What are those machines called? What's the lowdown with that?
Okay, so that is kind of the new incoming B2B resin. It's called SLX.
Yep.
SLX will have a printer, it'll have a washing station, and it will have a curing station, but it'll all be modular.
Right.
So it can all be purchased separately. SLX is basically riding the wave of, as resin gets more and more popular in the market, the printers are getting more and more easy and friendly to use. It's eliminating all that sticky, toxic stuff. So we created something called a manipulator that'll help you move the print from printer to wash to cure.
Gotcha.
And it's just basically making it so that you don't have to come into contact with the resin. And then on top of that, the printer itself, it's building on the technology of SL1S. So this printer is a huge success. You said it's B2C, but when we analyze our data, we see it more in B2B. A lot of dentists have it.
Right.
A lot of jewelry makers have it. It's in education. It's in like aerospace, automotive, like drones. So that's kind of the market for this printer with the price point.
Yeah.
And SLX, the new printer, is building off of that. So
I saw that big one. I think there was like you put your hands in, and it was gloves, and there was a whole kind of like real industrial feel to it, like almost like you were sandblasting something, you know, that whole thing. Yeah, that's insane.
All of that. And the SLX, the printer, will have heating inside. It has automatic resin port. Those are things that SL1S does not have.
Right.
It'll have that, and yeah, exactly. You said you can automatically wash the part. It'll manually wash the part, automatically wash the part, and then the curing. It was all designed with Henkel Loctite, our new SLX system.
Yeah.
So they gave a lot of input because their technical grade resins are very, very popular on the market, and they're like constantly making new breakthroughs with what they can achieve with the safety. They're eliminating TPU from some of their resins. So they gave us a lot of feedback to kind of make this easy to use. Really, let's say, we're hoping to get it into a lot of different industries.
Right. No, it's amazing. How do you see the future of Prusa? I mean, I know where you work. I've visited the offices. We were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Where do you? And you're American living in Prague, right?
That's correct.
And
yeah.
you were super excited about that, and asked how it was going. And I was really interested on, how does that transition go from living in the States to then moving to Prague, working with Prusa, and you're excited and you print. And I was like, well, do you print? Yeah, I print. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So where do you see Prusa's future? Where's that going? Is it bright? I'm sure it is. Where do you see it going though?
I think Prusa's future is very bright. I honestly think they made a good transition from B2C to B2B at a very good time, I think. Because the Chinese printers are starting to flood the market for B2C. Prusa's still in there, it's like one of the dinosaur brands, but B2B is, as we saw how much B2B attention the other printers were getting, and the need was there, I think Prusa really was smart to take the direction into B2B.
Okay.
The future of it, I think, is bright. I think they're just going to be getting into more and more B2B industries. I think just 3D printing in general is a booming industry right now, and we're moving. Prusa printers have been in schools for so long, and these kids are growing up and they're bringing 3D printing into their engineering jobs, and that's completely changing the landscape. So that's happening at the same time as the printer innovations are happening, at the same time as material renovations are happening. So I think Prusa's just gonna ride all that. I can't say what's
okay. No, of course you guys know what's coming in the future, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Lauren, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you at the next show.
Yes, you
Take
will.
care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we are with Alan. Alan, how's it going? Alan is from Creality. I'm really good, actually. We've got some resin here. There's some new resin printers that Creality have just released. It's the Halot X1 here. Alan, tell me a little bit about this. I know some stuff. We've got 16K resolution. What makes this unique and different to what you've put out before?
Okay, so this new Halot X1 is a totally game changer. Okay, I'm going to show you how it is changing the industry, this field.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, this is most easiest product for the beginners and also for the professional hobbyists. So this is an open print machine. You purchase it and you open the box, then you can print it directly.
Okay.
So we saw the leveling, we saw the filling the resin.
Yep.
And we have the auto resin feeding unit to automatically pump in the resins and pump out resins.
Okay.
And also, compared to the traditional resin machine, now this X1 will reverse the motion structure. So the traditional resin machine, the build plate itself is moving up and down.
Yeah.
So the accuracy is it's not that good.
Right.
But now for this machine, we keep the build plate itself steady, but instead we're moving the resin tank up and down.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Yeah, so just like the FDM printer, the Intel's FDM printers.
Gotcha.
So the base itself doesn't move.
Right.
So this one goes up and down. But
Gotcha.
you may a little bit worried about that the resin may spit out because it is a moving tank.
Yeah.
But since we have an automatically feeding system, so the machine will automatically detect the resin. So to pump in when it is needed, to pump out when it's not.
Right.
So the resins will be always under the line and will not spit out.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay, so 16, what's the size of the print bed?
The size of the print bed, 211 millimeters.
Okay.
Wide and 118 the length, and also the 200 the height.
To the height. Okay,
Yes.
cool. I mean, it's quite unique. It's fairly unique in regards to a couple of things. One, because you've got a heated, it heats the resin vat. Is that right? Or it heats the resin bottle, and then it pumps the bottle, right? Is that right?
It's a heater down there to pump to heat the resin inside.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And then you've got some other fairly unique features on this as well, including the bed here. That clicks out, so for an easy release. Is that right? How do we take this out?
Yeah, just take it very easily.
Yep.
And
Can we show that to the camera?
yes, so the models can be removed very easily. So you don't have to use the shovel do that, maybe
Yep.
break the model.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're doing a Kickstarter on this one.
Yes.
And like I say, the confusing thing is it a Creality machine or is it a Piocreate machine? Well, of course, Piocreate is a sister company to Creality. They're in the same building, they work on the same ecosystems, so it kind of is the same but different, but it looks like your resin department is going to be focusing more on Piocreate, and Creality as a brand is going to be doing more FDM. Is that right?
Yes. So
Yep.
right now, in the future, all of our resin machines going to be moved to Piocreate.
Right.
So Piocreate is going to focus on the resin machine
Yep.
and also the palette FDM machine.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, Creality only focus on the consumer level FDM machine.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So when is this coming live on Kickstarter?
It is right now already alive in Kickstarter.
It's already there.
Yes, already
Okay.
there.
And what's the
100
price?
It's around 600.
600. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Alan,
Yeah.
thank you for talking to me today. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Thank you.
We're going to break to Greg and we're just going to have a quick chat about these machines as well, if that's okay. Yeah, let's do it. What's going on, friends? We're at Rapid TCT out in Detroit, and I'm joined with Greg from 3D Rundown. Dude, how are you?
Mr. Prentice, I'm good. It's fantastic to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you, and of course, this time we are not under embargo.
There is no embargo today, folks.
But what we do have is two brand new Creality K2 machines. That's easy for you to say. It's easy,
Did
even
you say
worse for me.
K2sions?
K2sions. Are they K2sions? We can
They
have
are. We have
K2sions.
3 versions of the K2sion today.
It's the worst kept secret though, because of course, if you went into Clipper, you would have discovered that the K2 and the K2 Pro were already listed in the firmware. So we knew it was coming, but we don't
true.
know too much more about what the sizes are. So what do we have
Right.
here?
Well,
You're here with Creality.
I am 3D Rundown. Creality is a good friend of mine. They're very supportive of me. So today I'm kind of wearing both hats. I'm a little Creality. I'm a little 3D Rundown.
How does that feel?
It's very confusing. So let's talk about the new toys, shall we?
Let's do that. Let's do that. What do we got?
Door number 1 is the K2. This is your budget entry-level K2. It's a lower cost, but it's also lesser features. This one is not a heated chamber. It's a 260 by 260, so you're looking at A1 size in an enclosed K2.
Okay, so and it's also got the 90 degree.
Yes,
That's worrying.
yes. It has the door that if you leave it open and you're not paying attention, you can walk past it and shatter it.
We
Absolutely.
might have an Uncle Jesse moment here at the show. Who knows? He has already left for the day though, so he went back home
He has.
yesterday.
He was here
so
yesterday.
we should be. So these have survived an Uncle
We
Jesse
did-
day.
Uncle Jesse came, saw, and left without breaking the door. But they did learn the doors are no longer screwed in.
Oh, they're glued
So
in.
if you hit it hard enough, it may break the glue off rather than the door. They're actually glued in place.
Let's have some aims not to do that then in that case. But all right, well let's talk about the Pro, and then we're going to come back to the middle. So
Yes.
what's new with the Pro then, Greg?
This is the K2 Pro. This is your middle ground between the K2 and the K2 Plus, right? So Sam, what you've got here is the K1 Max that's shot up on steroids.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is the exact print volume of the K1 Max. If the K1 Max got all popped up on radiation and hulked out, it becomes the K2 Pro.
Okay.
So it's your middle size K2 Plus with the heated chamber and all the bells and whistles in a slightly smaller package than the K2 Plus.
Gotcha. Are they any good?
Are they any good?
Yeah. Have you got one? Have you got both of
I
these yet?
do not have the Pro, I do not have the Plus, and I was not allowed to show them till after the Creality party because reasons, right?
Is it a embargo?
There was an embargo, which is valid until later on.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules, I just don't work here. However, is it any good? I'll tell you this, Sam.
Go for it.
The K2 Plus had a lot of growing pains.
Mhm.
We had firmware issues, we had extruder issues. Creality has had the time to fix all of the fixes of the K2 Plus into these at launch. Whether or not that's good enough for you is up to you to decide. But they have a better start than the K2 Plus because the K2 Plus failed, so these can launch.
Gotcha. Okay. Do we know anything about pricing right now?
No, pricing hasn't been announced.
You were like straight. Like, no, there is
No.
no pricing. We do not know anything about the pricing. Okay, cool.
I don't know anything about
How much for this one? Come on. How much do you think? What are we guessing?
the official word from Creality.
Yeah.
Is the pricing will be announced.
By a wizard.
The pricing will be
No.
announced by Gandalf. Gandalf will be making a special appearance momentarily.
Okay.
The pricing will be announced after the Creality 11th anniversary party, kicking off 1:30 today via live stream.
In which case, we will bring you that information in
Yeah.
the description down below. And there are some affiliate links, so if you want to buy one of those, well, then you can. Greg, there's one more thing I can see right here, and it is this thing, the Space Pi times 4.
This crazy contraption is exactly that. First you had the Space Pi, which is the single roll dehydrator. They moved that up to a dual roll dehydrator. Then they went from dual and said, forget it, let's just make 2 of these, put them together. We now have a 4-spool dehydrator, so you can have 2 machines kicking off of one set of dehydrators.
Where do you put the bread to, it reminds me of a fryer.
This is like a bread oven almost,
Like, yeah,
or a deep fryer.
I like to think so. So we've
it's-
got an LCD screen on the front here. That
Yes.
looks, I mean, the great thing was with the Space Pi,
Right.
when they came out, they did look like they were from outer space,
They
right?
did, they did.
They're very, very sexy
Yes,
units.
Creality's visual products have improved a lot. in the past 2
Absolutely,
years.
absolutely. We're not just having that kind of H-bot, awful bit of 4x4,
Yeah,
bit of metal.
square, aluminum.
They're getting to a point, I would say, where actually it's a bit like the home computer.
Right.
Generally, they were quite ugly to start
Yes,
with,
yes.
and now things are kind of almost coffee machine-esque. I wouldn't want
Yes.
necessarily one of these in my kitchen,
No,
but
I wouldn't either.
you know,
Unless we're going to cook some bread, maybe.
well, could be, yeah. I mean, it could be
Warm
the
some
next
bread.
kitchen appliance for you. Who
Yeah, you're
knows?
going to notice Creality's design a lot more blacks, a lot more smoke, a lot more rounded edges. The square stuff is kind of gone. Even in their bed slingers, like the high combo, things are more rounded.
And hopefully not too much smoke.
Well, it really depends on your skill level, how much smoke you get when 3D printing. But don't blame us.
Yeah, we're not compliant in that. So, what else do we have here? Has it been a good show for you guys?
Yeah, turnout's been pretty good. People are happy. There's
It's a big booth. It's a really impressive booth.
I think there's a lot of interest in the market in color.
Right.
And let's be honest, for a while, there's been a certain looming presence in the business dominating the color field.
Yeah.
And it's been leaving a lot of people behind.
Okay.
And people are not always willing to move to another brand, even if they have a superior product for a time being. So there's a lot of Creality users that have been waiting. And this is the year of color for them. And we'll see how they perform over time.
That's amazing. Listen, we're going to go around the other side because we've got like a crowd of people here. Hey, how are you? We've got a crowd of people here, so we're going to move around the other side and not be as congested by wizards and this gentleman.
Other blokes.
It's all good. Let's move around the other side.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Of course, we're back with Gregg now. 3D Rundown, if you haven't followed him already. Here's some banners just down here. Gregg, obviously, we did speak to Alan, and Alan's given us some really core information there.
Right.
But is there anything that we've missed there? Obviously, sometimes going from Chinese to English, there are some elements that are from time to time missed. Is there anything that you can add to this that you can tell us about? I was particularly interested in that pumping system.
Right.
And you said it was heated.
Yes.
Alan didn't know. So
Right.
what is that?
So yeah, Creality has addressed a few things since the Halo Mage Pro. Obviously, I haven't used it. I can't attest to how all these things work.
Yep.
But on paper, they sound good.
Okay.
For one, they're helping people work with resin in colder environments.
Yeah.
People who live, for example, here in Detroit or Canada where it's colder.
Or
Maybe
England.
England, for example, where across the pond, where they're working in garages, it's hard to keep them warm. So resin doesn't like the cold, right?
Nope.
Resin is very unhappy in cold. What they've done, they've moved the pump from the machine to an external vat.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. So the bottle pumps to the vat. The vat will warm the resin. So
Okay.
it's warming inside the vat, not the printer. And then pumps from the vat to the printer and prints from there. So you're printing with warm resin. And because it's fully enclosed, obviously, it helps keep that resin up to temperature while it's printing.
Gotcha.
One of the things you'll notice is Creality's moved away from the really tall resin printer. For years, resin printers have been thin and tall.
Yeah.
But let's face it, for miniatures and D&D and the kind of things people are resin printing, they're not making tall things.
No.
They're making short, small, wide, highly detailed models. So we've gone bigger vat, smaller footprint, shorter model.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it would have been handy if those things were here, but apparently they're not. So
Yes, it would have been.
check it out online, check it out on the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter thing, as always, there is some inherent risk with that. We all know about that. Everyone talks about the inherent risk with Kickstarter. Why they need to do a Kickstarter campaign, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Is there anything else we can do with you?
There is. Let me put this thing back on first. As a partnership with Piocreate, I'm going to help Sam here. We're going to give away some $200 off coupons for this Kickstarter, and we're going to throw in 3 months free of Toolbox Pro. So what you're going to do is going to give me via DM 2 sets of numbers. The first number is 13, right? You're going to DM me that number and catch my live later where I'm going to give you a second number. And if I can confirm you're following my friend here and following me, we're going to mail you a scratch off with those codes to save $200.
Oh.
Not $100, not $20, 200 big fat dollars. Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's not too bad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
My
Really
pleasure.
appreciate that.
My pleasure. We take care of our viewers. Our viewers are our family.
Indeed. Well, we met obviously
Yes,
way
sir.
back when at 3D Printopia was Earth for a Creality event
East
a little while.
Coast Rep
Festival. Yeah, absolutely. So it's really good to see you again,
You too.
and we keep seeing each other, and we
do.
talk often as well,
Yes,
which
we
is
do.
nice.
We do.
When we're not under embargo. You know, it's a thing. If you didn't know, this is already a thing.
Yeah,
So
us content creators are constantly under these imaginary blankets
I know.
known as the embargo.
Embargo, yeah, and of course, a lot of manufacturers don't know that we'll talk. So you know, pay attention.
They don't
anyway, dude.
understand there's a family within the 3D printer business.
Exactly.
And we are the parents.
That's it. Well, we've got the 11th anniversary coming up,
Yes,
so
sir.
we won't be doing that on this particular video,
No.
but I'm going to be there, and if there's any drinks, I'll be drinking them.
With bells on, friend.
Sweet, dude.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you again. See you next time. Bye for now.
This channel is sponsored by Polymaker and PCBWay, the best choice in filament and PCB manufacturing. Explore PCBWay's 3D printing portal. Easily upload your STL file and choose from a spectrum of exotic filaments for that special project. From PCBs to 3D prints, trust PCBWay.com for your unmatched quality and innovation. Visit them today at PCBWay.com.
What's going on, friends? I'm with Jeff representing Revopoint. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you today?
I am great, and it's really good to be here because when you think about 3D scanning, Revopoint is really the one-stop shop. And you've got some new technologies here, which I'm hoping you're going to be able to talk to me a little bit about. This is the Trackit 3D scanner, which looks insane, and I'm a little bit scared. But what is this? What's this tracking ball? Tell me everything about it.
Okay, the basic unit is a beefed up MetroX laser scanner. It has additional lines, 15 lines crossed, so it's 30 lines total instead of the 7 and 7 of the standard MetroX. We have a Trackit system here, which instead of putting trackers on or markers on the object itself on there, it tracks the scanner itself.
Oh, I
So
see.
it knows where the scanner is in 3D space.
Sort of like an inversion then onto itself.
Essentially, yes.
From here. Okay, yeah,
Okay. So that knows where it is.
Yep.
This knows where this is relative to that. And so it knows the angle, heading, pitch, yaw, all of that. And
Gotcha.
so we've got, we were playing around with this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the detail.
And this is primarily for larger objects, right? So this is going to be cars, this is going to be...
You can use this on larger objects, or it's just easier to put something small that you don't want to put markers on it.
Gotcha.
And be able to walk around it. You know, this would work a whole lot better on a little pedestal, and then you could just walk around, you know, like that.
Interesting. Do you have any idea of cost of this right now? I know it's brand new.
It's going to be announced on a Kickstarter.
Okay, cool.
On
Excellent.
there, you can get a link on there. You can probably publish that.
We'll put that down in the description. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Yeah. And I do not know exactly when, but in past Kickstarters, they announced it like a couple of months before the Kickstarter campaign goes active. And then it's active for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then that closes up and they ramp everything into production and they ship, I don't know, 6 weeks after that. So I would probably say before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year, right? Interesting. I mean, this is quite an interesting setup because obviously we've got the cameras, we've got some infrared scanning that I can see here. Then you've got this. It almost feels like, you know, the PlayStation camera that you have above your TV, and then Marvel's next destroyer of humanity as a handheld device. It's fairly unique, isn't it? I've not seen anything like this before.
There are other scanners like this, much more expensive.
Okay.
I don't know how expensive this is going to be, but it's not going to be $30,000.
So is it going to be still at a consumer range?
Yeah. Okay.
So still at a consumer. Okay, brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Well, look, I'll tell you what, Jeff. Obviously, there's lots of scanners here because that's what Revopoint do. It's mainly 3D scanning. Let's have a look at something else.
Sure thing.
Yep. So, Jeff, language is an interesting thing, isn't it? Because I would call this the Morocco Plus. Is that right? But you're calling it
Morocco Plus.
the Morocco Plus. So, yeah, you know, it's a language thing. It's a language thing. But what is super awesome about this is it's a handheld scanner, right?
Entirely handheld, self-contained, got a 2-hour battery, 2 sets of sensors for near and far on there. The Plus model includes an optical zoom, so you can hone in on, get more details on figurines like this, and an Android user interface.
Gotcha.
So the Plus also comes with the photographic metrological kit. This allows you to put various markers and size references on there. It gives you the most detailed, most accurate measurements of any of the under $2,000 scanners.
Gotcha.
It's somewhat better than the MetroX, although the MetroX doesn't need the PM kit.
Gotcha. I mean, one thing with this, what I found absolutely fascinating, and we did see this at Rapid last year, actually, in LA. What I found with this was, you know, the handheld element to this is a bit of a game changer. You know, having to plug it into my laptop, mess around with that, and then it not scan properly, and the lead isn't long enough, and you go round and round and round in circles. With this, it's a point and shoot.
Yep.
All the processing is done on board.
Yes.
Which is great. What's the difference then between the Morocco and the Morocco Plus? Is it lenses? Is it?
The Morocco Plus has the optical zoom capability.
Right.
The Morocco and the Pro versions only have digital zoom, but the Morocco Plus is the only one that comes with the PM kit on there for the metrological grade measurements.
Excellent. Okay. Well, pricing, of course, will be down in the description below. But what about, do you know how much this is? How much is this?
List price on the top of the line version is $17.99.
$17.99, which isn't too bad, I suppose. If scanning is what you want to do, you know, and it's, if you bought a laptop, if you bought all the ancillary parts as well, it is a bit of a one-stop shop with regards to this, isn't it?
Yep.
I love that.
So,
oh wow,
if your lens on there, whatever's green is what is being scanned. On there. So, oh, we're a little too far away. There we go. So, there's only so much you can see on there, but you can see we were scanning in color, 48 megapixels. On there. So
that's so good. I mean, it's quick as well. You know, the rendering and things like that I've had to do on previous scanners that I've had. It just takes forever.
We've had some people, they want to do prosthetics and they want to be able to match skin tones. So the 48 megapixels on there gives you a pretty good result.
Of course.
On there.
There's tons of applications. I mean, I'm primarily in the 3D printing zone. So if I'm making something or if I'm scanning something that I want to repurpose or reprint or reuse, that's kind of my thing. But of course, these have got other applications for gaming and various other across the board. And like you just said with prosthetics, there's a kind of almost like an endless catalyst of people and projects and things that, you know, can be used in this application. It's incredible.
Take this to parties, put it in single frame mode, take a picture of someone's face. You know, you can then use that to make masks. Everybody at a party could look like one person.
You're a dangerous man. I like it. I like it a lot. What about something that's slightly more affordable? If you're going to be getting into 3D printing and, you know, there's the Pop 3, there's a MetroX. Should we go over there and have a look at those? So things have just got serious at the Revopoint booth. Jeff has now got these stunning pair of Matrix glasses on. And I do really feel like this is now teasing us into the future. MetroX, this is the prosumer offering, of course. And I feel like maybe I should be wearing glasses as well. What's with the glasses? Can you tell us a little bit about that first?
The MetroX has a Class 2M laser projector on there. Similar to Class 1, it's less than a milliwatt, and you would probably have to do 20,000 milliseconds or 20,000 seconds of exposure to need like a 1.51. Basically, I'm wearing these because my girlfriend got them for me on Amazon.
They're very fetching. I must admit, they're a good look. But it's just to protect your eyes from this.
You don't want to shine this directly into your eyes.
No, let's not do that.
You know, it's a blue light, so it's more aggravating anyway than the near infrared that most of the other scanners use.
So this is the prosumer offering. Yes. MetroX.
It's metrological grade, slightly less than the Morocco with its PM kit, but you don't need to use the PM kit.
Right, okay, sure. So what are we going to scan here? This is a part from a car or
Yeah.
something along those lines, right?
Yep. And it needs marker mode in its most accurate measurements, the 7-line laser and the 14-line cross laser.
Gotcha. And this was a Kickstarter about 6 months ago, right?
It came available, and it started shipping December of 2024.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay.
So let's do that.
So you just move it around and let the individual lines light up everything.
Yep.
This is a bit more time-consuming process than the pattern projection by the other scanners.
Sure.
On there.
It's quite a big piece of equipment as well to scan, right?
Yes, but it's light, it's easy to hold.
I mean, I guess ultimately it's going to very much depend on what your personal preference is. Again, this is a wired version. The other equipment isn't. If you go to some of the, less expensive versions like the Pop 3, again, they're still wired. But the Morocco is really, for me, I think that would work for my application the best, I would say.
The Pop 3, the Range 2, and the Mini 2, all less expensive, still have Wi-Fi capability.
Oh, they do?
You can plug a USB battery pack into them.
Right.
And connect it to a laptop or your computer and wander around and take videos.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. Really
Except
interesting.
for the dangling cables, it's just about as portable as the Morocco.
Oh, amazing.
But
amazing.
They don't have the dual range setups that the Morocco has.
Gotcha. And they're just behind us here, of course. Just here. We'll have a close-up on those in just a second. Links, of course, will be in the description below. Let's hit the render button. Okay, cool.
Now, from there, that's the raw point cloud.
Yep.
You can see everything. So we'll fuse.
So do you need any sort of special computer to render this quickly, or does that just help or not help?
The MetroX and the tracker are the only two so far that need enhanced processing capabilities.
Okay.
All the others, everything's built in to them. So something like RTX 3060 minimum.
Okay. Hey, we're there. Look at that.
Yep. Let's see here.
Oh.
So you can see that looks a lot cleaner. So
presumably you can go back in and then just any parts that you've maybe missed, you can just re-edit those and just
exactly. Yeah, you
easy.
can just reset. He probably doesn't see it from this detail, but you can see it down here. Just continue scanning.
Got it. Yeah, fine.
Okay. I just sweep away this tabletop here and delete that. Isolation looks for errant pixels that weren't cleanly applied to the scan.
Yeah, and then okay.
And overlap detection does pretty much the same thing, where some pixels end up too close to each other and they don't really add anything.
I mean, the software is a major integral part. I know that sounds quite an obvious thing, but I've used scanners before and it scans wonderfully, but actually the versatility behind using the software and closing up holes and, being almost sort of self-aware to those elements, not quite AI, but being able to finish off a part is, it looks like this software is certainly more advanced.
It has improved a lot in the last couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've really put some effort into it. I'm meshing into a solid object at 0.4 millimeters.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What have we got? We just talk about them. We'll do a close-up on those as well. What are the other scanners that we have that are maybe for more cost-effective use?
Okay, the original Revopoint scanner was the Pop.
Yep.
It's currently on the Pop 3 Plus.
Right.
The Plus adds optical zoom, so you can put 1.5 or 2x on there to get more details. Doesn't take you quite down to a Mini 2's capability, but close on there. That is near infrared, so it's good for scanning people's faces on there. The Range 2 has the widest angle of vision at 1.4 meters within its maximum scanning distance. It means it's less likely, if you wanted to scan like that helicopter, which is disappear from the screen.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
You're more likely to get features in there that will maintain tracking, so it makes it less likely that you'll need to use markers.
Gotcha, right.
Okay, and then the Mini 2 is among the most detailed, but the MetroX has been described by one of the beta testers as a Mini 2 on steroids.
Okay.
And it's only a couple $100 more expensive than the Mini 2.
Beefed up for scanning. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this is done now?
Yep.
Is this done?
Yep. So,
I mean, that's great. I mean, you can just import that into Fusion, and if you were working on other elements to that, you can get that sizing, you can get the whole range there.
Fusion would probably be overwhelmed by the detail
I bet.
that you got in there. You might want to simplify it first, run it through. There's right up here, we've got the simplify option.
Yep. And just take out some of the detail. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff,
Okay.
that's wonderful. Thank you so much
You're
for joining
very
us
welcome.
today. One question I'm asking quite a lot of people at the moment, what does the future hold for Revopoint?
Oh, I wish I knew.
Are you okay? what would you like to see next, personally?
I'd like to see outdoor scanning capability.
Outdoor scanning.
Yeah, the scanners here designed to be eye safe,
Yep.
so they get overpowered by the sun's infrared.
Right, yeah,
on
of
there.
course.
So you can scan in. I have scanned in 1100 lux
Gotcha.
of light on there. Probably a bit more because I have no problems on there. I haven't determined the actual limit. So that would be the one thing that I would want.
Jeff, thank you so much for joining me.
You're
I
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. What's going on, friends? I'm with Emily here from Flashforge. We're going to talk about some of your printers. This is the 85X, the 4-color new machine that you guys have just released very, very recently.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about this. This is on the market right now. It's been a good seller, right?
Yes. So actually, some of our old friends may know that our 85M series is the #1 bestseller in the e-commerce globally.
I really like that machine. I thought the quality of the machine was amazing.
Yes.
So I've been sent this. This is at my house right now, and I need to
Okay.
get it out of the box. And we're in the middle of the review at the moment. But it's been a big seller for you guys, especially with things like print farming, right?
Yes, exactly. So this 85X is the upgrade version of our bestseller 85M.
Yep.
And it's perfect for the global end user and also the print farm. Because for the print farm, the stability and the cost efficiency are the most two important key factors for them.
Absolutely.
So that's why it makes the 85X is a perfect option for them.
I think it's great. And again, the size of this works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
If you look at some of the others, when you've got AMSs on top and things like that, the size of this just works for a really good format. A 9x9 format specifically is what I've seen being published. And that works incredibly well. So you're finding that people are buying these for print farms, but also singly as well, because the price on this is pretty damn good as well, right?
Yes. Not only the price, but also the stabilities.
Yep.
So it will be a good choice for whoever want to buy a second or third or fourth printers.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. It's great. What else do we have here? So we've got 4 printers here, and then we're going to talk about your new resin printer as well. What do we have here? What's this one called?
These 3 are all our new models we will launch this year. So if for some customer, if they want the bigger size, we have the Guy 4 and the Guy 4 Pro.
Guy 4 and the Guy 4 Pro. Again, these are 4-color printers as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
This comes
So similar
standard.
setup. What size is this?
300 by 300 by 300 millimeters.
Okay.
And this is the open frame version, and that one is enclosed. But not only the 4-color, but we have the 65-degree heating chamber.
Right.
So you can print the ABS and ASA excellent.
Gotcha. So the core difference here is obviously we've got this fully enclosed.
Yes.
That one it's got some openings. I mean, you could enclose this in, I guess. But 65 degrees as a heated chamber.
Yeah.
So how do you reach 65 degrees? Is that
It
from
will,
the bed?
heating the bed.
So it's like a passive way of working. So the fact that it's that we've got the bed heating up to 65 degrees, that allows you, or probably more, that allows you then to maintain temperature inside of here.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
So that will be a perfect choice for the university, college, and some corporate use case.
What are the prices on these two?
This one will be $699
Yep.
for the MSRP, and this one is $999 without the multicolor.
Right.
But you can buy separately around $150.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So then finally, we've got the big one. What's the price on this? Because this wasn't released when I saw it at Formnext last year, I don't think. I think it was brand spanking new to the market.
Yeah, this actually is our flagship. We launched it in the early of last year, if I'm right. So this one is like dual intruder and big size. So it's perfect for the conflicts and big items you want to print.
So you've got something really interesting coming, and I've seen some of the models already, and it's UV printing, and it seems like this is an emerging technology that's literally just coming out right now. So the new model is the CJ270. Now this is coming out Q3, did you say?
Yeah, we will first go to the Kickstarter in
Yep.
the Q2 this year and launch officially global in the Q3 this year.
But look at this. This is the kind of resin printing that we're going to be getting out of this machine, which, to be honest with you, I think this is a bit of a game changer.
Yeah,
And it's nice to see that you are seemingly at the forefront of this. You know, this seems to be one of those technologies that, you know, seem to have just come out of nowhere all of a sudden.
Yeah,
So,
actually we spent a lot of time, several years internally in our R&D center.
that's amazing. So is it full color? Is there a color limitation on it? Or can you not tell me too much about it?
Actually, it's the first desktop full color, really full color, not a 16 color.
Right.
3D printers. It can achieve more than 10 million colors.
10 million
combination.
colors. Wow.
Yes.
So what's the print size? I don't know how much you can tell me and how much you can't say. Is it reasonable? What's the print size?
The print size actually is 180, 120, and 100.
Okay, so what we would call probably a small resin size.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible. I mean, I don't know how this technology works, but I'm certainly wanting to get involved with this, because to be able to print models like that, or to 3D scan like you've seen in previous interviews as well, if we're able to 3D scan people and then be able to print them out, you know, and you can do that in your home. That's absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. Well, anything else you want to tell us? What does the future look like for Flashforge?
Good questions. Yes, actually, some of your audience may already know the Flash brand.
Yep.
We are the few companies not only doing the consumer grade printers, but also the industrial grade printers.
Right.
So actually, besides the FDM lines, we have our industrial level called WaxJet series.
Yep.
So that is this production line comes from.
That's awesome.
So actually, we are the #1 market share in that WaxJet series, taking more than 46 global market share.
Oh, really?
So we want to be one of the top brands globally in the 3D printer market.
Got it. So you're also looking for resellers as well. That's one of the big things you're here. The reason that you're here at Rapid is to obviously show yourself, show what's going on, show what products are like.
Yes.
And you know, you're looking for US and European distributors. Is that right?
Yes, actually mainly the Canada,
Right.
USA, and also some countries in the South America.
Right.
So as you may know that we are already the top brand for online market, but we find a huge potential in the big retailers, education players, but also the Latin American market.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to find the capable and the reputable partners to develop the market with us.
That's amazing. Well, look, I mean, these are phenomenal printers. We've got more of this sort of stuff coming up on the channel very, very soon. Again, especially with this. This is in the studio right now. So that's the 85X. I'm hoping maybe we get this printer. I think this would be good. I'd like one of these.
Thank you.
Maybe we can make that happen. But thank you for talking to me today.
Thank
Emily,
you, Sam.
it's been a pleasure. Take
Thank
care.
you.
All the best. What's going on, friends? Sam Prentice back once again. We're at Rapid TCT, and I'm at the Elegoo booth with May. May, how you doing?
Hi,
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see
Now,
you.
we saw on your marketing just before Rapid that there was something big coming, and well, here it is, the Jupiter 2.
Yeah, that's the one.
Tell us a little bit more about it. Obviously, it's a resin printer.
Mm-hmm.
What's different about this machine versus your previous generations?
Yeah, so actually we could see that. I think you own the Jupiter SE, right?
I've had resin
Yeah.
printers in the past, yes.
Yeah. So actually you could see here that the Jupiter SE has the red lid.
Yep.
And the first the first obvious difference is about the appearance. So for the Jupiter SE, you need to lift the lid up and
Yep.
you put it aside.
Uh-huh.
So which is a bit hassle for some people, you know, because they're you know like they don't want to make a mess.
Sure.
And then they have like maybe resin on their hands or the gloves. Yeah. So for this one, you could just open like a wardrobe or a refrigerator.
Oh, wow.
Like this. Yeah. So you can see that the build volume is quite large. Yeah.
My God, that is huge in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. Okay. Well, this is your something big then. That totally makes sense then. It's almost like enclosed inside here to see it.
Yeah.
So what makes this different then? So we've got this different way of working with the way that we open the unit. What are we running here? It's 16K LCD, 14 inch, 70 millimeters per hour, and it's a 302 by 161 by 300 mil. So this is huge. Is there any auto top up? What's unique about this machine?
Yeah, so compare with Jupiter SE. So the second difference is that it has a 16K LCD screen.
Yep.
So which is quite, you could get models with higher details, definitely better than Jupiter SE.
Gotcha.
And then the other thing is we have actually installed, as you can see here, a camera and also a lighting, which we also has in our Saturn 4 Ultra 16K and also in other Saturn 4 series. So we have actually installed this in our Jupiter 2 as well. Yeah, so just to integrate all the other good stuff that the other series has. Yeah, and then the third difference that we would like to mention the most is about this, the automatic feeder. Off the machine. So maybe you could check it at the back. I don't know whether the camera can see.
Yeah, we'll come around. Oh, okay. Wow, look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, so you could put 2 kilograms of resin bottle here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it will feed the resin automatically, so you don't need to pour the resin by yourself, that kind of. Yeah, and then also after everything is finished, 3D printed models are finished, it could absorb the resin back to the bottle.
Oh, really?
Which can kind of prevent the resin waste or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one thing that we have add on this, and which is I think a really good advantage for this machine.
Gotcha. I mean, I will say when I have used resin in the past, I'm actually pretty bad at emptying the tank afterwards. I normally, I won't lie that I do have some resin printers that have probably got several months worth of waste inside of it that I just haven't cleaned out because, but if this takes it back, that's fairly unique. I've not seen that on any other resins before. I'm not saying that there's not, but it certainly is something that's quite unique. Now, obviously this system looks very beefy. How does this come off?
Well, it's just for this one, we have actually added this handle.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just for the other, Saturn 4 series, it would be, some people just complain that the handle is easy to slip.
Yeah.
Yeah, to slip away on their hands because they have resin on their gloves or something. But for this one, we have actually added this handle, so it's quite,
Has quite an industrial feel, doesn't it? It's it's not heavy though.
Yeah, it's not really heavy though.
So it's got a sensor on here as well.
It's got sensor on here as well.
That's cool. That's really good.
So you could see the magnet here, which could help you to put it back on.
Obviously, big prints are going to be heavy potentially if you're not hollowing them out.
Yeah.
And what about the coating on here? Is this something new?
No, this is just something as before.
Something you've had before.
Yeah.
Okay, so similar to what you've had before, but the big changes here are obviously the tank at the back, the way that it opens, and me failing now at being able to put this back on.
Yeah.
How do we put this back on? Help me out, mate. Don't make me fail. There we go. There we got it. We've got it.
And we also have the sensor on the top corner of the build plate and also the build plate. Yeah, so it's just for this sensor, it could help you to do the leveling more precisely. Yeah.
Gotcha. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. Are you going to send me one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You heard it here first. They're going to send me one. If you don't ask, you don't get. When's this going to become available?
Well, what we are planning now is the second half of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, so stay tuned in our social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it going to be a Kickstarter, or are you just going to be able to buy it straight off the site?
I will not guarantee that will not be on the Kickstarter, but it would be as normal as always. As we will launch it on our official website. Definitely.
Gotcha. So elegoo.com, and then probably Amazon at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Excellent. Any ideas on price?
Not really. Yeah, because it's just it debuted in Rapid TCT. Yeah, so we haven't got the price yet. Yeah,
Gotcha.
But we'll definitely let you guys know when we have it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, while we're waiting for the price, if you want to guess the price, put it down in the comments below. Maybe you'll win something. We'll try and work something out. May, thank you for talking to me today.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
This is looking great. I'm looking forward to receiving one of these, of course, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Sure.
Where are we going to see you next?
Maybe I think in what's the show called? Oh, yeah, open source.
Oh, you're going to open source?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely see you there.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Well, friends, that concludes part 2. A special thanks to all the sponsors that made this trip happen, including Prusa, Flashforge, PCBWay, Polymaker, Revopoint, and of course Creality. Any links to affiliates will be down in the description below, and Rapid takes place every year, and I'm already looking forward to heading to Boston in 2026, so well, maybe we'll see you there. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
You are watching a master at work.